paramedics, perfusionists, dietitians, as well as the administrators.
Treatments for end-stage heart failure is heart transplant, which can be life-saving. Generally, once we reach the stage of this in India, there have been hundreds of thousands of cardiac surgeries are done in children to repair all the defects. A small portion of them continue to have the problem what we call heart failure, where the pump is weak. So this is going to be a big population in the next 5 to 10 years, where hundreds of thousands of children have been repaired, but for variety of reasons, a small portion of them have heart failure. Only 15%. It's barely moving, and there is a of view with the 10% pumping.
Important in a heart failure and transplant program is the skill and knowledge which is required by the people who are involved in the program. I'm very lucky to have a team with very good knowledge and training. We have many of them who are already here today. I would particularly want to acknowledge the two surgeons who did the operation in this particular situation, Dr. Sudesh Prabhu and Dr. Kumaran. Sudesh is unable to speak because of a bad throat, otherwise he would have been doing this talk.
Home here in India. First of all, the Transplantation of Human Organs Bill was approved by the President of India on the 7th of July 1994. So this is a landmark for all of us, because this was the first time that an organ transplant was made possible by a legislation. After that, it was quickly followed up by Professor Venugopal, who did the first transplant in India on the 3rd of August 1994. So this again benchmarked that a transplant was a person who made it to almost 15-16 years after the first transplant in our country. This is in the Everest Base Camp. Life doesn't get bigger than this. Thank you very much.
Difficult. So it was very difficult time for us when we came to know that our child had this kind of issue, and I know no parents want to hurt this thing, but nothing is in our hand. Luckily, we got such a group of people where we came to know that in Narayana Institute, we at least we have a hope that our child may going to survive. So the end result is in front of you all, that like the operation got successful, and kind of issue is only be done in the Narayana hospital. So we came to the hospital, we talked to Dr. Sathiraj sir, and he told us all the possibilities, like what can be done pre-operation, post-operation, all those things he informed us and he told us. So, like before the transplant, it was very difficult and tough time. I hope you also feel the thing which I was going on. So yeah, it was very difficult and tough time for us. So after the transplant was done, so the NH person, like the who are directly involved or indirectly involved, they handle all those things very easily, and they are humble all the time. Whatever doubt we had after the transplant as well, they told us like beat and everything very clearly and properly. So after the after the 1 month or 2 months, when everything was went well, they told we asked them to please release us to go to home so that we can take care for the baby very well. So after the discharge, believe me, like when we were at the hospital, like we were not that much of you can say problem or all those things, because we have all the doctors of team over there. But after the discharge, it was very difficult for us, like me and my wife, only we were are there for baby to be taken care of. So it is very difficult for us to take care of the baby and all. So as of now, the baby is good. Everything is going well. He is good. He is responsive as well. So and extremely, I'm glad for the Narayana Hospital to for having such good team.
To really understand that this is the only option left for the child. to convince the family to understand what is really happening. It is very hard for a family to accept the fact that you're having end stage heart disease at that age. Generally, you think of heart disease as an older person's problem and not as a baby's problem. From that point onwards, if you're looking at getting a heart for a baby, which is quite difficult because you need to get a realistic size match. You cannot put a heart that is much larger than the baby. Once the weight of the donor exceeds twice or 2.5 times, then the mortality following the procedure also goes up, which makes availability more of a problem. The good thing about it is the children's heart can withstand cold ischemia. That is the time which is taken for the heart to be taken from one place to another, a little longer than adult hearts. So we have a slightly larger geographical reach in order to bring a heart from another place to our hospital.